Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Change in regime is the region is changed. How it might have been changed? See, you are measuring with the non-recording type, Siemens rain gauge. In a particular year, you have changed it to automatic weather station, or you may change it into a recording type. That's a change in regime, but data is continuous. Or you have shifted the rain gauge station from one location to another location. Suddenly last year you saw that there is a big building constructed next to your rain gauge station. Then you shifted it, right? So there may be a lot of human, mechanical or electrical errors, but in this consistency we assume only the first 4 errors. How to check whether my measured data of one particular station is inconsistent with all other station? That means you want to compare the mass of water measured at one location with the mass of water measured on other locations. Since you want to compare 2 masses, you can call this as double mass method. And initially it was only based on graphical method, and people have used a method called as double mass curve to measure and adjust the inconsistent in the data, right? Let us assume that there is a rain gauge. Wait, I want the board, right? So I have 5 rain gauges here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to check the consistent of this one particular station 1, right, with all other 4 stations. So what I do, I assume that data is continuous. Then I do this simple methodology, right? Okay. So now this is the step. What you have to do is, first you have to arrange the data in chronologically descending order, right? Let us say this is data from 1985 to 2006. This is the station A annual rainfall. This is the average of other stations. First you arrange the data in chronologically descending order. That means the latest year on the top and next year the old stations at the end. Find the cumulative of station A, also find the cumulative of other station. Plot a graph between the cumulative mass of station A in y-axis and other stations in x-axis. Then, right, I have done this, right? First point, you have to arrange the data chronologically in descending order. This is station A, it's cumulative. I think I no need to tell you how to estimate the cumulative, right? Cumulative is the algebraic sum from the start to that particular time step, right? So this is cumulative of A, 163 plus 130, right? Similarly, this is cumulative. Now I have to draw a graph, the other stations cumulative in x-axis and cumulative of station A in x. You can see this, it is gradually increasing like a linear, and at a particular year there is a break. But still after that year also it is continuing to be a straight line. Okay. If this break is not there, right, this small line, right, this would be the cumulative rainfall. That means at this particular point there was a change in regime, where it is in between 1006. So at the year, each one is 1 year, right? This is 2006, 2005. So at this station, that is at year 1994, there was a change in regime. That is called identification of regime. But you please remember, the method in which I am measuring the rainfall is correct even before 94 and after 94. But only thing is the instrument used is different. Now in future also, after 2006 or time step also, I am going to continue in this line. Then instead of adjusting the current data, you adjust the past data so that they are inconsistent with the current data. Suppose if I want to bring this slope line to this line, multiply each and every value with the ratio of their slope. Okay. So that is what we do in this curve. Okay. So this is how we do double mass curve method to check the consistency of the annual rainfall. Okay. So I think this is a very wonderful method and we are still in use. Right. Once I did all these calculations, right, my data is now completely filled, no missing data. I check the consistency of the data. It is inconsistent. One rain gauge station is inconsistent with all other. Then I have to present it to my boss. How I can present? There are different ways we can present the observed data. The first and foremost method is rainfall mass curve. It is nothing but a time versus accumulated precipitation. This can give a fair idea of how my rainfall varied over a time period. So this type of small duration requirement, we can show it in mass curve or hyetograph. Hyetograph is another way of representing the rainfall. Hyetograph is the graph between duration of the rainfall and rainfall intensity. Please remember, in mass rainfall, it is only the depth. You can see here it is cumulative rainfall or depth of rainfall versus duration of rainfall. Whereas hyetograph, it is intensity. This is hyetograph. Intensity of rainfall versus duration. These are all one way of presentation, but you have to understand this method of presentation because it is very useful in later chapters like runoff estimation, infiltration estimation, okay, evapotranspiration estimation, how this hyetograph and the rainfall intensity diagrams, right? So the rainfall can be represented as rainfall mass curve, hyetograph, right? But this is only a particular station, a time series. If I want to represent my rainfall of a particular station, I can represent this daily, weekly, monthly, seasonal or annual. So conversion of one time step to another time step is called as lumping. Suppose I have measured daily rainfall. If I want weekly rainfall, what I do? I add 7 days. So I am adding, right? That is called lumping. So by lumping daily, weekly, monthly, seasonal, you will get annual rainfall. So you can get the rainfall at different time steps, right? Now I have rainfall at different stations. And somebody asks, you are the manager of this river basin, what is the average rainfall in your river basin? Then every year I measure nearly 50 stations. How to tell the average? Then there are different ways to express. The first method is called as arithmetical average method. The second is Thiessen-Polygon method, and third one is isohyettal method. We will see one by one quickly and finish it today itself. Right? Let us say I have the same picture. I have this 5 rain gauge station, and if I am the CEO of this river basin and somebody asks, what is the average annual rainfall in your river basin? I cannot say that average annual rainfall of station 1, station 2, station 3, station 4, station 5. Instead, I have to give only one number. So for that, what I do? First, I take the annual rainfall of or average of each 5 station and then take the average. That is called as arithmetic average method of annual rainfall. For example, in this, I have 8 to 9 stations. And if I want to find the average rainfall, add everything and divide it by that many stations. This is very simple, but we are not considering the variation in this rainfall. So to consider the variation in the rainfall, the second method is called as Thiessen polygon. Thiessen polygon method is nothing but you give the weightage for a rain gauge station up to what areal extent the rainfall is uniformly measured by this station. Then how to estimate that Thiessen polygon? For example, these small dots, they are the rain gauge station. First, you connect this rain gauge station to the adjacent rain gauge station. These small dotted lines are line connecting one station with another station. Then for each and every line, you draw a perpendiculars, right? And these perpendiculars meet and forms a polygon. For example, this station B, right, is connected to station C, A, and this one more I. Now I have drawn line for all the three and drawn perpendiculars, right? This 1, 2, 3. So this area is represented by the rainfall of station B. Now you have to measure the area of this polygon, multiply with this area. Like that you do for each and every rain gauge station, divide it by total area. Then whatever the amount you are getting, that is called as average rainfall by Thiessen polygon method. This is one of the very good method, but in this case it is assumed that the rainfall variation between one station to another one is linear, right? That is why exactly I am cutting it off, right? So this is how the Thiessen polygon. For example, I have given a simple problem, right? There are 4 rain gauge stations A, B, C, D located in a catchment area which is approximately circular, right, as shown in the figure. So I have rainfall of A, B, C, D. Find out the average by constructing Thiessen polygon. How to do that? Oh, first you connect station A, B, B to C, C to D, D to A, right? Then draw perpendiculars. That means each station is represented by 1/4 of this circle. So when next class comes, you are supposed to show me this answer. Okay. So then each station A rainfall 85 into 1/4 of this area, then 130 rainfall of B and 1/4. So multiply this rainfall with this area, divide it by total area, will give you the rainfall, average rainfall of this basin. This is Thiessen polygon method. The another best method and accurate method is called as isohytal method. I think you might have heard about the word contour. Contour is an imaginary line which connects points of equal elevation. See, for Thiessen polygon method, I have given you a circular problem. There are 4 stations A, B, C, D. Okay, you can find out what is the average rainfall. There is an answer slide. I will show you in the next class once you estimate it. Right. The third method, which is most accurate method, is isohytal method. It is nothing but once I have the rainfall of each station, I can draw a contour. But I don't call that as a contour. I call that imaginary line which connects point of equal rainfall depth is called as isohytal method. Right. Now then what happens? I have to measure the area between these isohytes. Now for example, this area is represented with 3 rainfall. Then take the average of this 3 rainfall, multiply it with this area. I think you know how to measure the area in a graphical sheet. You can use graph sheet or you can use a planimeter. So then the average rainfall is area into that rainfall divided by total area of the basin. Out of all these 3 methods, isohytal method is more accurate because it considers the variation, topography, everything. So this is converting rainfall from one time step to another time step, that is lumping in terms of time, and then estimating the average rainfall over the basin. This is called as lumping the rainfall over the space, right? So spatial lumping and temporal lumping, three methods. So these are all different. I think this is a sample Thyssen polygon we have constructed for one of the river basin, right? Okay, so this is one way of representing our rainfall. I think I wind up here. This last portion we will take in the next class.